how this turns out, ladies and gentlemen. I've got some new equipment for recording. Thank you for the Christmas gift, everybody. And in any case, I've got Tomas back for a huge AEW smorgasbord. We've got 3 episodes to catch up on. But how was your holiday, my friend?
Thank you. Yeah, first of all, happy holidays to you, Zach. I see all your
You
lovely
too.
toys that you got. This is me
Something like
recording
that.
from a disclosed area. Let's say Area 51. Let's say Avengers headquarters. I am in an undisclosed area, so unfortunately, you
via
won't be able to look at my pretty mug.
via
But I had a
satellite.
very nice holiday. It was very down to earth, very calm, very what I needed, honestly.
Yeah,
And my lovely, lovely, lovely girlfriend hooked me up with the wrestling merch. I
of
have
course.
3 new AEW shirts. I have John Moxley's new autobiography. And when I opened up those shirts, the first thing I said is, Tony Khan, you motherfucker, come to the West Coast so I can wear these babies to one of your
Please.
shows. Please,
I mean,
please.
I'm
I got a beautiful
AEW.
Adam Cole shirt.
It's gonna
I got a
happen.
beautiful Bryan Danielson shirt. I
It's
got a
gonna
Lucha Bros shirt.
It's gonna happen, dude, and we'll both be there for sure. And I'm looking at Double or
I
Nothing
got a
next
little
year,
bit of the
so
bubbly shirt. I
yeah.
got a broken Matt Hardy shirt. I got a John Moxley shirt. I'm
he's
ready. I'm fucking
he's got
ready.
it all. He's got it all. He's gonna switch shirts every time there's a show switch. When it goes to Dynamite, he's gonna put on a Bryan Danielson shirt. When it goes to Rampage, he's gonna put on Adam Cole. When it goes to Dark Elevation, he's probably not gonna wear a Big Show shirt at all. But in any case, so
When it's dark, I'm going to teleport to Orlando, Florida, Universal Studios, and I'm going to wear a 2007 Kurt Angle shirt and say, "What the fuck? This isn't the Impact Zone."
this is the AEW multiverse, is what it is. But in any case, guys, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. It would be insanely, insanely helpful. And smash that thumbs up as well. That would be tremendous, tremendous help to get this content out there. But here we are. AEW Winter is coming. First off, this was the second annual Winter is Coming, an episode of Dynamite, where Kenny Omega basically became the world champion a year ago. And he finally lost it, and now he's taking time off. But yeah,
Yeah, the
Robbie.
first thing I want to say off the bat is they're treating Winter is Coming as a huge event. I know we
Oh,
have our Fighter Fest, we have our Fight for the Phones, we have our, Beach Blast and all that. And those seem like fun episodes to put matches on, but Winter is Coming. Sting debuted last year. Again, you alluded to Kenny Omega winning the world championship in a very controversial fashion. And the controversy is just going to continue because we open up this
sure is.
year's Winter is Coming with the highly anticipated AEW World Championship match. It's the new champion, Hangman Adam Page, defending against the winner of the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Right
And
off the bat, I want to say
has he
this match
settled
was
right
fucking awesome.
has he settled right back into that heel role perfectly, or what?
He really has. And me and you were talking about this during our full gear review, talking about, oh, this is going to be a fun face versus face view. But no, right off the bat, Danielson on these past few episodes of Dynamite has been calling Page out, saying that he doesn't deserve this world title, that he's going to kick his head in. And then for the next 3 to 4 weeks, he starts beating the hell out of his Dark Order buddies in their
Yep.
hometowns. Colt Cabana in Chicago. He got 5 in his hometown. He got Johnny Hungy in Long Island. It's like, damn, Danielson. Danielson, here's the thing about Danielson. Danielson knows how loved he is in the wrestling community and in the wrestling fans' eyes.
Oh
That he
yeah.
says, if I want to make these people hate me, I'm going to have to do some despicable shit.
Yeah. Oh, 100%, man. It's Bryan Danielson, he knows how to make you hate him just as much as like he knows how to make us love him. That's why he's one of the best in the world right now, and I'm honestly convinced that he's the best wrestler on the planet right now. And he continues to prove it week after week against countless different opponents. Like, he's having great matches with Colt Cabana. He's having a killer match with John Silver. And this match with Hangman is
Hell,
no
he's even
exception.
taking a guy like, yeah, he's even taking a guy like Alan Angels and saying,
Yeah.
like, show me what you can do, kid, and putting
Taking
him through
him
a
to
good
the
match,
limit.
too.
Yep.
But
Yep.
the topic of this match was how fucking awesome it was and how long it went. When we
Mm-hmm.
got past the 30-minute mark of this match, I was getting flashbacks to 2007, John Cena versus Shawn Michaels on that episode of Raw, which was not a world title match. It was just a TV non-title match. And these guys wrestled the second hour. It went so long that the original scheduled main event of Randy Orton versus Edge had to get pushed to the next week. And I remember being, in middle school and being in awe that Cena and Michaels were going that long. And that's the first thing I thought about. That was the first thing I thought about while watching this match. Like, these guys are, Danielson taking a page out of HBK's book.
Of course he does. I mean, like, he was learning from Shawn Michaels too. So, I mean, it's logical that he would do, a match like this. And longest match in Dynamite history, oddly enough. And these two went out there and tore the goddamn house down. Hangman was hitting his buckshot lariat all over the place. He was locking in a figure four. Bryan was locking in the surfboard everywhere. The crowd was chanting along with the surfboard. I'm still waiting for the crowd to chant along with Bryan on "I have till 5" every time he backs the referee off.
I love that Danielson brought that back.
Still waiting on that, though. Still waiting on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like Danielson. Here's the thing about Danielson. He actually said in an interview that his favorite time in WWE, believe it or not, was not during the Yes movement. It was during his heel run as the WWE champion where he was not saying yes at all. He kind of does feel like the Yes movement was kind of a WWE fabricated thing. So I really liked how in his AEW run, he's bringing back all the Ring of Honor shit. He's bringing back, you're going to get your head fucking kicked in. He's bringing back, I have till 5. He's bringing back, cattle mutilation.
Which is...
It's all of these old school stuff that, he didn't get to do in WWE.
I should note that "you're going to get your fucking head kicked in" is in his actual music for AEW now, which I think is brilliant. And the crowd...
Ever since you brought that up and I listened to it,
yep.
I'm like, fuck, I can hear it. I can hear it.
Yeah, see? I told you. I told you.
I
told you. And yet the crowd still does not chant along to it. It's so crazy. I don't know if they haven't figured it out or what, but like when we go to these shows, AEW, I mean, we got to start chanting it to the song now. So like the crowd's still like, I mean, I don't know if they're still like not over the fact that Danielson's not with the promotion anymore, or like if like they just like chanting yes to him. But
I mean, I haven't really noticed the yes chants, especially when he turned heel.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I was a little disappointed that he wasn't yesing all over the place when he got here, but again, I'm kind of preferring that he doesn't. Face or heel.
He's a general. He knows what he's doing. He's an absolute natural, but like if you talk to Bryan Danielson in real life, like he will not like promote the fact that he's one of the best in the world. Which is
he was in this match to make Hangman Adam Page look fucking good. And good did Adam Page look. There was that one point in the match. Yeah, there was that one point near the end of this match that, the inevitable end that we're going to get to, that Danielson countered beautifully into a buckshot lariat. And it's the one where he hit Danielson and Danielson turned inside out. I kind of just stood up at that point and said, that should have been the end of the match right there.
Should have. Hangman should have pinned him right there. But, that was not to be. The Dapper Yapper said there were 5 minutes left, and at that point, with 55 minutes in, now Danielson is like, it's time for me to kick his fucking head in to you fickle fans.
Oh, it took him it a little close there, Danielson.
It took him that long for him to figure out that it was time to kick his fucking head in, but and then Page does the same thing to Bryan. He kicks his fucking face in, the same move that he used on Colt Cabana to kick his teeth out of his face. It was great. It was absolutely great. And then the finish of the match comes along. Freaking Page hits the buckshot lariat, and he can't get over to pin Danielson in time. It's a 60-minute time limit draw. It is extremely rare that a match goes this long to a draw. But not in AEW. Not in AEW in Tomas's mind, because
AEW sure loves their time limit draws.
They sure do.
They've been around for, 2 to 3 years, and we've seen 3 of them already. The first one being Pac and Kenny Omega on an episode of Dynamite.
Was it?
The second one...
I thought it was Cody and Darby at one of the special Dynamites earlier on.
Oh, shit. That was probably 4 then. Because do you remember Pac and Omega? Pac and Omega also went to a time limit draw.
I don't remember that one.
Yes, they did go to a time limit draw.
I'll take your word for it.
It was TV time remaining. And they went to the draw.
That was it. Yep.
And then we have what we just talked about on this podcast, even Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson, non-title match, went to a time limit draw.
That was
I know
only
I'm in the
30 minutes,
minority.
though.
I know I'm in the minority, and a lot of people are like defending this. I don't want AEW to have to depend on these, and especially if they're going to depend on these with the same guy. I understand the signings of Danielson and CM Punk, or two of the biggest signings in wrestling history right now in this generation. But I don't want them to be protected to this level where they feel like they can't take a fucking loss. With Danielson, I'm okay with it. With Punk, it annoys the hell out of me. But when I saw this finish, it's just like, this was Paige's first title defense.
Yeah.
And I feel like it needed that definitive win. Mind you,
it really
we're going to get the conclusion to this. They have just announced on Holiday Bash that at New Year's Smash on January 9th, it's going to be the anticipated rematch of Danielson and Paige.
I think it's actually... So I don't think it's on Smash. I think it's actually on the TBS Dynamite premiere on the 5th.
Okay.
So New Year's Smash has the Undisputed Era tag team match. Spoiler alert for Holiday Bash. We'll get to that, but regardless of those nitpicks, Tomas, this is a perfect match in every way. I'm honestly comfortable giving it 5. I really am. It's one of my favorite TV matches on Dynamite this year, if not my all-time favorite. I think I like the story better than the Omega-Danielson match. I could get into it more. I had a lot of, not to get too deep, but I had a lot of stuff going on at the house, actually, while Omega versus Danielson was happening live. So couldn't get into it as much back then, but... this match was it was incredible, man. It was really incredible.
Let me just say, to go off the record for just 1 second, that's the power of pro wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. You could be having stuff going on in your life, and wrestling has always been that way for me. So,
oh yeah,
just want to go off the record and say, hope everything's good with you, man.
Oh no, it's all good now. It's all good. But
for sure.
That was, I could, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could enjoy Hangman versus Danielson more in the moment than Omega versus Danielson when it happened. But
I even will say, again, I think the chemistry between Paige and Danielson was a lot better. This is the perfect example of a 4 3/4 star match. And yes, the quarter is getting knocked off because of that ending. I would like... I'm sorry. I like the bit. And, I know I'm coming off as the biggest fucking hypocrite in the world because, we're WWE fans and WWE just loves the disqualification card. They love the count-out card just as much as they love pinning their champions.
They love cashing in the Money in the Bank contract. They love all these tropes.
They love pinning the champion. They love dusty finishes.
Okay, hold on a second, though. At least, if it was a non-title match, at least the Danielson did not pin Omega when the time limit draw happened. But, again, if AEW didn't want either guy to lose, then why book them together? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
This is
the perfect example of booking yourself into a corner. Something that I will give AEW credit for. They don't do often, as they do as they do with WWE. Cough, cough, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor. Cough, cough, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Day one's going to be interesting.
Ooh, yeah, no, that should be fun, especially with all the news coming out of some of the WWE guys testing positive for COVID. Seth Rollins is one of the confirmed cases, so we'll see if that changes anything for day one. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
I kind of forgot he's in the world title match.
Yeah,
oh, shit.
It's supposed to be a fatal 4-way. But
how fucking awkward would it be if they took Rollins out when it was his title match to begin with?
Oh, well, I was picking Kevin Owens to win the title that night anyway, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. My friends. But getting back to All Elite Wrestling over here, Paige and Danielson, there was no way that any match could have followed it, but Tony Khan, what does he shove out there?
Tony Khan.
Coney Khan. He shoves out Wardlow to take on Matt Sydal, who, poor Matt Sydal, he really has not gotten his fair shake here.
He really hasn't. He gets there, and I get it. He fell on his fucking face on night 1. I don't think that's fair to crucify the guy for the rest of his career. He has done absolutely nothing. They paired him up with his brother, which I'm like, okay, I'd love myself a good brother tag team. And then they immediately take him away to pair him up with Dante Martin, of all people. They have him in this weird feud with him and Leo Rush. And now he's
so strange,
right back
isn't
to
it?
now he's right back to doing what he, I guess, does best, and that's fucking job.
Oh my God. I mean, like,
And I love myself some Matt Sydal.
I do too. He's so underutilized. He's not as underutilized as some other people on AEW's roster, Jay Lethal, but I mean, if you shove him out for a match with Wardlow, who do you think is going over? Like,
Yeah, also, Tony Khan, maybe have a little sit down with your buddy. Oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? Fucking Omega's manager. Why am I blanking on his name?
Oh, Don Callis. Don
Callis, yeah. And talk to Don Callis about how he booked Matt Sydal and Impact. And it actually worked. Come on.
It did. It did.
Don't waste a guy like Sydal.
It looks to me like they're finally pulling the trigger on pushing Wardlow as a singles act within the Pinnacle. It looks like they're building him up for a match with MJF down the line. I really hope that Wardlow is not the guy who will beat MJF for the AEW title once that eventually happens, because MJF is the guy I'm picking to dethrone the Hangman eventually. But it looks like they're just pushing him as their Goldberg. Like, because this was
this was a quick little squash match. Nothing really to talk about. Shawn Spears was out there, in Wardlow's corner. And after the match, Spears is just, he's telling Wardlow, like, MJF is getting the champagne ready for his, eventual win. Thanks for the spoiler, Spears, for the Dynamite Diamond Ring match he has later on tonight with Dante Martin.
Well,
he just orders Wardlow to destroy Sydal with his chair, and that's what Wardlow does. Wardlow
just sits there and watches, but Shawn Spears, let's just say Sonny Ono, he ain't. But
no.
Yeah, Wardlow wins with his big finisher, and he has his weird theme song. I don't know when he got this theme song. This is war. I don't know when he got that, but it sounds so strange.
Also, he has the stupidest fucking nickname in the world, Mr. Mayhem.
Mr. Mayhem. Oh, my Lord.
I've tried saying it out loud. It does not roll off the tongue. Mr. Mayhem, Wardlow.
Not at all. Not at all. But
don't mean to sit here and pick on Wardlow, but
no, not at all. But this was clearly the match of the year at half of a star. Obviously. This was, an absolute clinic from Matt Sydal and Wardlow.
Not as good as a squash match he had that Holiday Bash.
Where were the Fight Forever chants that we gave Wesley Blake and Buddy Matthews?
Danielson Page who?
The sarcastic Fight Forever chants. Where were those? Where were those, Dallas?
What the sad thing is, though? If I saw Murphy and Blake today, it would probably be a fucking clinic.
Probably.
If we saw Buddy Matthews versus Wesley Blake, it would probably tear the fucking house down.
We'll have to talk to Impact about that when the time comes. But
yes.
This is what the show has come to, my friends. But hey, Tomas, what do we have next? It's a nice women's encounter, it looks like.
Oh, nice women's encounter indeed. We get the finale to this very, very nice technical feud.
The finale?
Am I getting my matches wrong?
So let's just cut right to the chase.
We're talking about Shida Deeb, right?
Yes, yeah. Hikaru Shida
okay.
versus Serena Deeb, but like the way that they booked this match, it really doesn't feel like the finale to me. I don't know.
I will say that their second match was a lot better. Hell, even their first match was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like, I will agree with you that this finale felt very underwhelming because I really enjoyed this feud. It was a women's feud, not for a title, and you don't see those a lot.
Yeah, and this is nothing on Serena Deeb. I think she's wonderful, but do you think Hikaru Shida's kind of gotten lost in the shuffle? Like since
she kind of has, and it's unfortunate. But with this TBS title,
right? But she's not in the tournament anymore, so like
she's not. You can only honestly, this tournament, spoiler alert, is for Ruby Soho. They have this incredible talent that they signed from WWE. And yes, I'm going to say that this fantastic talent that they signed from WWE.
You hear that, Vince?
They're gonna put this TBS title on her, and maybe down the line Shida could get a crack at it. But right now, yes, she's kind of floating.
Yeah. No, I absolutely 100% agree with you. But I mean,
get with your buddy Billy Corgan and maybe send Shida over at NWA for a while. No, I'm serious. Like, let her go work somewhere else if you're not gonna. It's like her in AEW.
No, it's like you're telling them, hey, no, you got to take advice from other promoters. And I'm like, well, I mean, you know, he's doing fairly good. You know, he's a nice
To
guy
be
and
fair,
all.
well, I mean, speaking of Corgan fell flat on his face as a wrestling promoter at first. You know, Khan could take some advice. I don't think Khan's perfect.
Right.
Everybody thinks he is
No.
just because he brought in all this talent. And he's, yes, AEW is doing very well, but if
He's
you have your hand in all these pots,
not
you
perfect
got your
by any stretch.
Calluses, you got your Corgans, take some advice from them.
Of course, take some advice. But I mean, this was some really, really solid wrestling. But the thing is, I kind of wish that a little bit of a nitpick, but I kind of wish that Shida sold the left knee injury a little bit better, because there were points where she was hitting Deeb with delayed vertical suplexes, and she was staying there for a while. There's no way that knee would have held up with a suplex that long.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
But I mean, she does the deed. She does her usual Shida comebacks and all that. I don't think she hit the Tomas at any point. Serena Deeb had a lot of really nice submission holds, but then we get the Chris Lash effect in this one, in this little match right here. Deeb exposes the top turnbuckle, and then what happens? She basically, there's a nice little sequence, and Deeb is the one that hits the exposed turnbuckle. Of course, she's the one who introduced it, so she's the one that's got to take the bullet there. And Shida basically covers her with a jackknife pin with a busted knee, and she wins. She wins.
Despite the underwhelming finish to this match, again, I thought it was a very nice women's feud, not for a title. We need
Yeah.
more of these. We need more grudge feuds.
Yeah, for sure. And like there was a promo on Holiday Bash that Deeb cut, and she was like, "It's over when I say it's over, Shida." And I'm like, well, that's why I'm kind of thinking it's not the finale yet, but for what it was, I mean, this is a 3.25-star match. I mean, it's a fairly solid women's wrestling for sure. But
Put these girls in a street fight and let them bust each other up.
yes, that's what I'm thinking. Give them no disqualifications. Hell, give them lights out. Look at the wonders it did for Britt Baker.
I would love that.
Look at the wonders it did for Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is someone else lost in the shuffle. I mean, she's going to be the one that beats Baker eventually, but they're just prolonging the Baker title reign, building up the victims, of course. But I mean, again,
I feel like they're kind of using this TBS title as a distraction, so Britt Baker doesn't have to defend her women's title right now. But I digress.
Yeah. I mean, she's got her defense against Riho at Battle for the Belts. So yeah, and there's that word being used in wrestling again. Those be marks out there, the belts. But speaking of things that are
give Anna Jay a shot. Give Anna Jay a shot at the title.
Oh, of course. But our main event of Winter is coming. Oddly enough, is for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. MJF is defending it against Inhuman Dante Martin. Dante Martin is freaking impressive. Like, it took me a while for him to grow on me, but he is freaking unreal. I would love to see him and Ricochet have a 30-minute clinic of just flips and no kicks and anything like that. That would honestly rival the Ricochet Will Ospreay match, the infamous one from New Japan. But
I love Dante Martin. I've gone on and on about that. I'm a little nervous because when his brother eventually does come back, are they going to reform Top Flight, or are they going to say, "Nah, man, Dante's
I don't know.
kind of been soaring without you." I hate for them to do that, but at the same time, I would love to see Top Flight get back together.
Yeah, but here's my thing. I feel like him and Lio Rush are a phenomenal tag team together. If and when his brother does come back from his injury, if Lio Rush wants to take over the role he had with Bobby Lashley and act as their manager, like way over the top and like, just saying things live on the microphone as they do their Top Flight thing, I wouldn't mind that at all. I think that'd be
I wouldn't mind that either.
I think that'd be a fun gimmick to see Dante and his brother go as heels for a little bit, but
that would be fun. This match, honestly, I think Dante showed off like the best of his best. He's flipping all over the place. He's doing acai moonsaults. He's doing suicide dives. It's honestly, he's one of those wrestlers, a lot like Ricochet, that you just have to sit back, relax, and just watch him go. Watch him do his thing.
Yeah, but MJF was honestly, like, he's on fire right now. He's on the roll of his life, and hasn't even hit his prime yet. He's in his mid-20s. He's my age, my friends. Like, this guy, I think he's going to win the world title in 2022 at some point. So, I'm calling it right now, just for the record. But it was kind of a weird, like, I mean, he hits a shooting star press, Dante Martin, and There was a, oh man, okay, that shooting star press, by the way, scary ass landing. Dante Martin shoots off the top rope and to the outside to MJF, and he catches him with his knees, almost like a meteora. Where was Michael Cole to call that, by the way? Meteora, meteora. But yeah, Dante landed flat on his face on the ramp, and it did not look good. And he popped right up after that, and I was like, "How in the hell are you not dead, or at the very least concussed?" You know, that's all I was thinking there. But it basically, it gets to a point where they're back in the ring, and then Martin hits a double jump moonsault off the ropes. He goes for a pin. He looks like he's gonna win the Dynamite Diamond ring, which looks beautiful this time, by the way. Ricky Starks runs interference for, reasons. I'm assuming because Dante Martin declined the invitation to join Team Taz, but I mean, why would you join Team Taz at some point? You're just going to be overshadowed by Hook. But basically, Ricky Starks puts MJF's foot on the bottom rope, runs up the ramp, and then MJF locks in his armbar, and Dante Martin taps out clean. MJF is the only man in AEW to ever win the Dynamite Diamond ring, and I honestly hope he never loses it, because that's a part of his whole shtick.
I hate to be that guy, but the only thing that made me mad about this is like, we're really doing MJF a third year in a row when we could have had Jay Lethal.
Talk about someone who's underutilized. Jay Lethal.
Let me tell you something. You do not take the greatest first generation professional wrestler, and you do not treat him the way you're doing. You do not treat the longest reigning Ring of Honor world champion in history. You do not treat the only man to hold the Ring of Honor world title and television titles for as long as Lethal did.
At the same time,
into the gutter. I was trying
to
imitate Lethal. Didn't work.
He's cutting a promo now. I mean, I get it. Jay Lethal should not be the second one eliminated from the Dynamite Battle Royal, that should not be happening. I mean, I'm still salty that Jay Lethal did not beat Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship on his first night. If you're going to showcase Jay Lethal like that, you got to have him win first night out. You can't have him lose. You can't have him lose like that. And Sammy Guevara could have taken a loss, and I mean, this is something that we'll talk about later to someone he did eventually take the loss to. But in any case, I mean, this is a fun main event. I mean, 3.25 stars. I mean, probably 3.5 if I'm being really nice about it. The crowd enjoyed it by the end, but it took a minute to get into. It took a minute for it to take flight, literally. So
this match was here to serve two purposes, and I feel like they were just there to advance storylines. It was to basically just give MJF this three-peat, and it was to continue the ongoing story that was Dante Martin and Team Taz.
Yes.
Taz, I think your faction is fine well enough as it is. Stop trying to recruit people. I mean, your main guy, Brian Cage, where is he, by the way?
Yeah.
He's nowhere to be seen.
I haven't seen him in ages. He freaking vanished, didn't he?
Put all your time and effort in his Hook, I guess.
What the hell? I'm just thinking about that right now. Where did Brian Cage go? Where did he go?
Exactly.
He disappeared.
Exactly my point.
Where? Where did he go?
Exactly my point.
Which, if I could quote Shane McMahon for a second, which way did he go?
Which way did he go? Way did he go?
I don't know. Which way did he go? But yeah, no, Winter is Coming was a good show. I mean, I'll give it 8.5 maybe. But, I mean, the real reason to watch the show is the opener. 60-minute time limit draw. That's all you need to really...
Very easy to get through with that long match, by the way. Very easy to get through.
Even though it was an hour. It was an hour and it freaking flew by, man. It was you blinked and it was over like that. So... Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh, that was a clear snap right there. You guys heard that snap, but oh man, yeah, that's a nice.
The universe just disappeared.
But in any case, guys, what we have next, we got 2 episodes of AEW Holiday Bash, starting off with Dynamite here. The first episode of which aired on December 22nd on that Wednesday. It was headlined by a very fun 6-man tag team match. But your opener, Tomas, what do we got? You have the shirt now.
Here we go. This was the big thing about what was going on. Adam Cole, baby, is going to go one-on-one with freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. And to you, this is a dream match.
Oh my God. I saw this was announced for Holiday Bash, and I mean, this thumb went all the way up like that. I was so freaking thrilled. These are two of my absolute favorites on this roster. And I was interested to see what they could do with, like, you know, I was interested to see how Adam Cole would work with a guy like this and with this gimmick. And just in the opening aspect of the match, Adam Cole tries to do his Bebe thing. And then Orange Cassidy takes the hands, and then he puts Adam Cole's Bebe fingers in his pockets. And I'm like, what the hell? What am I watching right now? What am I watching right now?
WWE wanted to make this guy a fucking manager.
Yikes. Yeah. No, just wait until you see Keith Lee show up on AEW TV, and then Adam Cole says, yeah, this is a good way to use us, huh? You know, or joke about it on being the elite.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, but honestly, this was like one of my favorite matches that we get to talk about. The announcers were also questioning why Adam Cole has such greasy hair. Why are we talking about that?
Like, exactly. That's one of those
you don't need to talk about
meta breaking the fourth wall kind of things. Like,
oh,
it's like when CM Punk said, "Don't ask me how big Batista's dick is." Apparently, that's a question he gets a lot.
No. Hold on. You know why? It was actually because Shivani was the one who brought that question up, and you know how much they're feuding right now over Dr. Baker. Like, Adam Cole, like, the first thing he did was call out Shivani and be like, "Hey, stay away from my woman." And then Shivani, like, puts out like a spoof Adam Cole. It's all about the boom Titantron, except it says Tony Schiavone Pepe on Twitter.
Okay, I really hate to get off topic, but I'm going to ask you this right now. What would you rather see? Adam Cole versus Tony Schiavone at Double or Nothing next year? Or Caleb Braxton versus Paul Heyman at WrestleMania?
Oh.
I want to see Kayla and Paul.
No. I want to see Adam Cole versus Shivani, because I mean, Kayla and Paul just sounds like a Howard Finkel style feud from like the early 2000s. Like,
fair. I wouldn't trust WWE to book it right.
No, I don't trust them to book it right either. Yeah, custody of Britt Baker ladder match sounds like a good. Sounds like a touchy subject, but I mean, again, this was a freaking fantastic match. These two guys freaking like threw every possible move at each other. We do get Young Bucks and Best Friends interference. Of course, you know, Brandon Cutler ran out. The Best Friends ran out to basically beat the shit out of him on the outside. Young Bucks basically come out to even the odds. Adam Cole went for the last shot on the steel step.
Real quick, before we get to that, Cole has been hanging out with Bobby Fish on AEW.
He sure has.
Last week, they cut a promo where Adam Cole said that he had a big Christmas present for Orange Cassidy at Holiday Bash.
Oh, he said that at Winter's coming. That's right. Yep. Thank you for bringing that up.
Everyone's been speculating. Everyone's saying this could only mean one thing. And during that whole interference, also, by the way, to get off on another tangent, I love that Trent Beretta returned. He reunited with Rocky Romero, and they played Roppongi Vice's theme song. That made me pop so hard. That was so cool.
Great.
But the whole Best Friends are there. Roppongi Vice, it's all there. And during all this distractions, we hear the crowd going ballistic. And who shows up behind Cassidy? It's Kyle fucking O'Reilly.
He was in NXT fucking a week ago. How does WWE fuck this up? like
easy.
Like,
you team him up with Von Wagner.
Yep, and Tony Khan fucking hit the jackpot on this one. A guy that should have been the NXT champion like earlier this summer, if not earlier than that. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, Orange Cassidy hits a beach break slam, and then Cassidy was setting up for his orange punch, which was when Adam Cole rolled out of the ring to the floor. And then he's just waiting for the referee like to kind of coax him back into the ring. And then there's fucking Kyle O'Reilly right behind him. The crowd is fucking losing their fucking minds. And he hits his fucking, whatchamacallit. He hits the, Kyle O'Reilly just basically hit some knee strikes on Orange Cassidy. I don't know if he hit his finisher or not, but
Adam Cole, a lot of people, including myself, have given the AEW announcers shit for calling debuts because they don't know how to do it. They call this one perfectly. Shivani says the violent artist has arrived.
What the hell? John Moxley. I'm still so.
Who is this guy?
Who is this guy? You know, but yeah, basically after Kyle leaves the ring, Adam Cole hits the last shot or the boom to AEW fans, and then he pins Orange Cassidy after a 15-minute match. 3 3/4 stars. I don't really care. This match was fucking awesome, and the run-ins the run-ins were a little bit much, but the Kyle O'Reilly one was perfect, absolutely perfect. And now Red Dragon is reunited. Undisputed is reunited. What the hell is going on in wrestling right now?
The crowd was chanting Undisputed. It was amazing. The Young Bucks came in. And this was something that me and you were talking about off the record. The Young Bucks speculating. Stare down Cole, say, what the hell? Are you bringing guys in without telling us? You know, Cole's starting to, you know, he's reformed his own faction. And with Kenny Omega out of the picture, it's only a matter of time until Cole starts to try and take over the Elite.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, no, he's probably going to try for sure, 100%. But it's probably going to lead.
O'Reilly has announced on Twitter that Red Dragon is back, and let me tell you, that Red Dragon Lucha Bros match, my body's ready. My body is ready for it.
I would kill to see that shit live. Like if I get that tag team title match live, and once Red Dragon does beat the Lucha Bros for the titles, like yes, I want that so bad, but. 3 3/4 stars. I freaking loved Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy. It satisfied me in every single way. And it doesn't look like it'll be the last time because we get that big trios match with Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends against the Undisputed Era, even though AEW can't call them the Undisputed Era on TV. But it's pretty much what we're getting at New Year's Smash on Dynamite. So very, very excited to check that out.
Can't fucking wait.
It's going to be fucking awesome. I mean, we're not going to get the super click kiss of death in that match at all, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun for sure to see Undisputed.
It's going to be Bobby Fish smashing teeth in. It's going to be Kyle O'Reilly kicking heads off. Oh, my God. I'm so happy.
Can't wait for Kyle O'Reilly to face Bryan Danielson one-on-one. Do you imagine how many fucking kicks in that match? Like,
there's going to be some broken teeth for sure.
We're just salivating at the thoughts of these dream matches, but Danielson is kind
WWE, how do you fuck up Kyle O'Reilly?
Well, again, like you answered the question. They teamed him with Von Wagner on NXT 2.0, and lo and behold, here we are. But in any case, we're not going to get the Danielson-O'Reilly dream match for a while, just because Danielson is busy being the best fucking heel on AEW. He's calling out Hangman Adam Page. There's a big ol' not a schmoz, but there's a big ol' argument in the middle of the ring. Hangman Page comes out for an interview with Shivani. Danielson cuts him off, and he's like, well. And, like, he's just repeating words over and over again. But I'm pretty sure, he cuts a promo. He calls the fans fickle here and there, and then he's like, you know what? If it goes to a time limit draw on January 5th, we're going to have judges. And then they're going to call it right down the middle. And I'm like, well, this seems like, and I don't want to speculate here, but this feels like it's going to be the setup for Danielson's next big pay-per-view match. Because I feel like Page is retaining at on January 5th. So
he has to.
there might be a judge on the panel, like a Paul White or something like that. And I'm very, very concerned about this. Like, they could be fucking planning Danielson versus Paul White at Revolution. Like, I don't want to see that.
I give AEW a little more credit than that. They're not fucking WWE over here booking.
No, they're not.
The Wyatt family versus Punk and Bryan.
What if he chooses the wrong judges or something like that, and then he wants fucking Paul White in the ring on pay-per-view? Like,
let's wait and see who those judges are before we start speculating that.
Right. Yeah, but Danielson basically, he was calling Hangman so many hilarious names. He was like, look at that entitled cowboy millennial in the ring. And then he the big zinger was, he called him a piece of cowboy shit. And I'm like, well, that one's really fucking obvious. But yeah, it's fucking perfect. But it was great. And then Hangman, what'd you think of this? There was a Hangman retort also. He was like, he has given way too much of himself for the world title to have some old prick tell him he's not good enough and a B+ player, because that's horseshit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch, getting personal.
Just a smidge, a little bit. But awesome promo. But if you haven't seen it, definitely would recommend checking out the thing in full, because Hangman and Danielson were both on top of their games. But up next, as if one Wardlow squash wasn't enough, you get Wardlow beating the shit out of whoever Shawn Dean is.
Yeah, I just watched the highlights of this as we were talking about Winter is Coming, and it sure didn't seem like a lot. Wardlow smashed him harder than he did Matt Sydal, and Shawn Spears was there again, acting as the manager.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to say about this. It was what it was.
A quarter of a star, match of the year. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Wardlow.
Danielson paid you.
Yeah, no, Wardlow is he's a fucking 5-star match machine. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Come on, obviously.
Cole Kassidy who? I don't know who that is. I don't know who they are.
Jesus Christ. But
and then the Big E, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins last week who?
yeah, Reigns, Lesnar who. But speaking of promos, you also get the artist formerly known as Dan Lambert in the Skybox, and he has the Men of the Year along with him, and he's basically he's telling whoever's winning the TNT title match on Rampage that Scorpio and Ethan are next in line. And Lambert
is masking fuck right off.
Lambert was shooting from the hip here. He said, what he's saying about Sky and Page not being used on TV as opposed to executive vice presidents, absolutely 100% on the button, even though he was acting like a douchebag about it. Like, he was absolutely right. Absolutely right.
It's like Sam Wilson said, you're out of line, but you're right.
Yeah, he says that Cody is a bigger dick than he is, as in Lambert, but,
interesting.
Very, very interesting indeed, which, again, speaking of interesting, this is also where we get a brief little video package about the Owen Hart tournament, which will be culminating at Double or Nothing on the men's and women's side. I think this is an absolutely amazing thing that AEW is doing, actually bringing attention to Owen Hart right now. Like,
finally.
Fucking finally,
it's
right?
About time we stop treating Owen like a tragedy, because what happened to him was a tragedy. He is not a tragedy.
Absolutely.
We need to stop treating him like a tragedy, and we need to start celebrating him.
And the Owen Hart Foundation teaming up with AEW in the move of the year, honestly. I mean, you can take back the CM Punk and Adam Cole and Danielson signings. Those are all awesome, but the fact that AEW is actually bringing Owen Hart into the spotlight again and actually celebrating how amazing of a technical wrestler he was, I think that's
and you got to take this into consideration too. This is only going to make Brett want to stay the hell away from WWE and start doing more stuff with AEW.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I can't wait to see Brett.
And if that's the case, then Natalia, you want to go somewhere where they might use you a little better? You're saying?
Yeah, somewhere where they're not putting you in a random tag team with Tamina for a few months, but something like that.
Maybe go somewhere where your family might be, and
maybe
your husband's a really good trainer. Maybe you might want to get him over there too.
Well, not to get too off topic, but I was reading somewhere that Tyson Kidd was actually trying to train for a return to the ring, which is insane to think about.
I would fucking love to see that.
The injury that Tyson Kidd sustained is actually similar to the one that Christopher Reeve sustained, the original actor who played Superman. It changed Christopher Reeve's life for the worse. But Tyson Kidd is a freaking warrior, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's
been training a lot of the women in WWE ever since he retired, so he can still do something.
He knows how to put matches together too. He's probably one of WWE's best producers they have right now. So,
100%. I think for the women's side too, he produces a lot of the women's matches.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking of women's wrestling, Tomas, what'd you see next?
Was this the TBS title?
It sure was.
TBS title semifinals. It's Nyla Rose versus Ruby Soho.
Ruby Soho. Sorry.
You're gonna go. Oh, damn it! It's stuck in my head now. Destination. Please don't copyright strike this video.
No, I'm sure they're not gonna find it. It's deep in the bowels now, but
yes.
But if they do find it, it's okay. But In any regard, I mean, this, like you said, this tournament was made for Ruby Soho, even though, I mean, Nyla Rose made it deep in this tournament. She's a former AEW Women's World Champion herself, and she's got Vicki Guerrero in her corner, who was trying to do everything she could to Ruby Soho to distract her from winning. Ruby Soho is the woman to beat here. Like, I don't think there's any conceivable way that Jade Cargill loses to Thunder Rosa next week. And then
Jade Cargill. I love myself some big person, little person matches. And this was one of those prime examples.
It was.
Of how, it's not all about, as much as I'd love to see it in WWE, it's not all about big men slopping meat around. I like to see the big person, the cat and mouse mentality of some of these matches. The little people using their speed and agility and like their striking. Like, it doesn't have to be about slams all the time. Like, the striking is what, catch the big person off. And when the big person does get their hands on the little ones, watching the little guys sell and bump for the big people, it's a really cool dynamic. And I feel like they did this dynamic very well in this match too.
Oh, totally. If I were to nitpick a couple things, first things first, there was a lot of Vicki Guerrero interference, maybe a little bit too much for my liking. And there was a point where Nyla grabbed a chair and she was going to use it, and then Ruby drop kicks it back in her face. How is that not a disqualification? Like, I mean, it could be like the announcers claim incidental contact, but a weapon use is a weapon use.
Yeah, you could argue that Ruby Soho didn't necessarily use the weapon. It just happened to be there, and she kicked the thing into her face.
Right.
It's kind of like using the ring post. It's kind of like not hitting someone with the steel steps, but, throwing them into there. It's like, it's an environmental hazard, in my opinion. It's like using the barricade to some extent.
Totally. I mean, it's like using an exposed turnbuckle if you're Serena Deeb and all that. But
yeah. But have you ever noticed that even though the exposed turnbuckle is illegal, nobody ever gets disqualified for using it? It's like a thumb to the eye. It's like a eye rake. You're not supposed to do it, but the referee's not going to necessarily stop you.
Not supposed to be punished for an accidental chair shot there, but
no.
Yeah, I mean, Nyla Rose was hitting all of her big moves. She hit a beast bomb, and then Ruby Soho keeps kicking out. And then she hits her, basically gets to a point where Rose goes over to the middle rope for a big, gigantic move. Ruby Soho hits a detonation kick, and then she moves on to the finals. Pins Nyla Rose right there, much to Vicki Guerrero's chagrin and ringside. But again, really, was there any doubt? This was a good big person, little person match. I'm comfortable giving it 2 3/4, maybe 3 if I'm being nice. But I mean, I cannot wait to see Ruby Soho actually reach the top of the mountain there. But it's going to be great.
Yeah. She's my pick to go all the way to the end of this. If Thunder Rosa upsets her, then I would be very happy to see her too. But again, it's been the theme of this tournament. We feel like it's been revolving around her.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. 100%. But hey, Tomas, you're going to be very, very happy to find out who's next on the docket. It's Malakai Black in one-on-one competition against the other half of the Varsity Blondes, not Brian Pillman Jr. Still not quite sure what his name is. It looks like his name is Griff Garrison.
Griff Garrison, the guy who the last time I saw Griff Garrison in a one-on-one action, and this is what I remember. No, I don't want people like coming at me saying, "Oh, you did Deep Dark episode 258 when he wrestled." And the last time I saw Griff Garrison in a one-on-one match, he was MJF's bitch, and then I saw he was in a tag team, and I'm like, okay, perfect. I like the Varsity Blondes.
I mean, the Varsity Blondes are cool. And, like, this is honestly, it's a story that I think makes sense given what Malakai Black did to Julia Hart. And it looks like Malakai Black is building a big, gigantic stable of his own with Brody King inevitably coming into the promotion, too, which is going to be interesting, to say the least.
Also, can I just say, Malakai Black, what a fucking asshole he is. How he just showed up. He just showed up and decided, I'm going to spit my poison in this little 19-year-old girl.
What a fucking asshole, right?
For no fucking reason.
For no reason.
Malakai Black appeared, spit poison into Julia Hart's face, refused to elaborate, and left.
I mean, unless, like, this might be something that we have to see play out with, like, his reasoning behind, like, actually spraying the black mist in Julia Hart's face, but that could be his weird cult mentality of like, because a big thing with like cults and wrestling is like the kidnapping and the like brainwashing and all that stuff. Maybe that's the Black Mrs.'s way of brainwashing like the masses into his cult, the House of Black. Brody Lee is getting that treatment. Maybe Julia Hart comes in as his valet. I don't know.
That'd be interesting. You brought up Brody King. I am very, very, very excited to see him come into AEW.
Well, and they cut a vignette also. I don't want to say it was on Winter is Coming, but Malakai Black was like getting somebody ready, for the House of Black. It's probably going to be Brody King as his heater, but
oh yeah, they are the current PWG Tag Team Champions. So if it's not him, then I don't know who.
Yeah, it's got to be him for sure. But especially seeing as how PWG was Excalibur's promotion at first. So
yeah.
So this is basically, I don't want to say it was glorified squash because Garrison got some offense in there. It wasn't like the Wardlow match, and it was more fun to watch than the Wardlow match because obviously Malakai Black, I think, is greater than Wardlow. Fight me on that. I'm sorry, but...
Oh, well, duh.
Duh. Yeah, but this is weird. Like, Malakai Black went for the Black Mass and all that, but then he just locks in a single leg crab and Griff Garrison taps out. It was so weird. Like,
yeah, no Black Mass, no, I don't know, maybe Malakai Black is experimenting with some new moves.
Yeah, no, I would expect Malakai Black to win every single match he has with the Black Mass, Like,
oh yeah, we're just so used to it at this point.
Yeah, but no, it's an easy win for him. It's a star and 3/4. I think he looked certainly great, and Griff Garrison I think did solid enough as the opponent taking all the heat. But then after the match, Brian Pillman Jr. runs into the ring, pulls Malakai Black off of Griff. Then you get the Black Mass. Pillman is out. Like, he is on another planet at this point. The Black Mass is like the most lethal kick in wrestling, and I love it so much. In case you couldn't tell, the Black Mass is sick. But
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, no, check off the Varsity Blondes on Malakai Black's victims list, I guess. And I'm like, okay, yeah, put a feather in that cap. Couldn't be Cody Rhodes many times.
Malakai Black was like, I'm bored. I'm going to spit poison in a little girl's face and beat the shit out of these two guys that were doing absolutely nothing to me.
Of course. Why not? Because why not? Why not? Which, speaking of why not, you have our main event. It's a trios tag team match on Dynamite. MJF and FTR of the Pinnacle representing. They're taking on the team of Darby Allin, his Uncle Sting, and Sting's second cousin, from the looks of things, CM Punk. Because CM Punk walks out to... So, first off, Sting makes his entrance. Tony Schiavone's marking out for him and everything. Sting has got...
say, this was the Sting dick-sucking party if I've ever seen one. Because, first of all, Sting comes out and... It's Sting!
Perfect impression, by the way. I love that. I love that so much. It's Sting!
Was he trying to write his mom's too? Sting!
Well, I mean, like, think about it, though. Sting walks out, but, like, it wasn't a full-on, like, Sting ass-kissing segment. Sting walks out with CM Punk tribute face paint also. He has the CM Punk hands, and, like, they're crossed on his face paint, which I thought was a really, really cool look for Sting. Darby Allin comes out with his skateboard, which Cora Jade did not give him. I'm sorry, was that too soon? Was that too soon?
Add that. We're going to get the next takeover, Darby Allin versus Cora Jade. Actually, I would actually really like to see that match.
How about a fucking skateboard on a pole match, bro? Book it. Book it, Vince. You have to. But yeah, Darby Allin comes out, and then CM Punk walks to the ring, and he is dressed up like Surfer Sting. Not with the bleach blonde hair, of course. Oh, no. But CM Punk comes out with the full-on face paint. He comes out with the Sting retro 1996 long tights there. That was
cool, I'll admit. That was cool.
And it just looks like CM Punk is having so much fun, too. Like, he's allowed to do whatever he wants. Like, WWE would have never allowed him to walk out with Sting face paint like that.
Oh, no.
For one night only, just to have some fun there. But that's exactly what they did. And Punk was hitting Stinger splashes all over the place. And, like, it's a really, really fun, like, house show style of match. But the big story is obviously building up to that physical altercation between CM Punk and Maxwell Jacob Friedman. MJF immediately runs away from CM Punk. He runs out of the ring, tags out to Dax, I believe. And Tony Schiavone looks at him after losing his voice about Sting, and he's like, MJF is just a spineless piece of shit.
Schiavone hates MJF almost as much as he hated the NWO.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I love it. I love it.
Hulk Hogan, you can go straight to hell.
Yes.
Oh, it was great. It was freaking great. But this is like, I mean, these six were just having a fun time here. I mean, there was just a lot of really great wrestling. That's just a given the six dudes that were in the ring there. Darby
saw the Sting launch MJF out of the ring like a lawn dart.
Yeah. MJF, what happened was, this was later in the match, but Sting is hit with a big spike DDT from MJF, and MJF is jaw-jacking to the crowd. Yeah, I did it. Sting stands up right after the DDT, no-sells it, vintage Sting. He's like, yeah, and then he does his punches all over the place, and it was great. It was freaking great. But highlight of the match for me, all three Pinnacle guys are on the outside, and fucking Sting at 62 years old climbs up to the top rope and does his splash off the top right to the outside. Oh my God. Like, how, again.
I don't get how this, Sting has found the fountain of youth.
I don't get it.
He has been drinking from it for years and years because I don't see this guy slowing down. I do not see this guy slowing down.
I don't understand how he was cleared to do that, though. Like, it's a fucking miracle. You know, if you thought Edge returning at the Royal Rumble a year ago or 2 years ago now was a miracle, Sting wrestling going into the year 2022 with Darby Allin, and thank God it's mostly in tag team matches, obviously, but like the fact that Sting is like still in there doing his thing and he's doing scorpion death drops everywhere, like, it's a fucking miracle. Like, it's a Christmas miracle, Tomas. I don't know how he does it, but
yeah. And and just to think, 6 years ago, he was told he would never wrestle again over a neck injury. Sting said, go fuck yourself, give me 5 years off, and I'll be right back in there doing shit that I wasn't even doing in 1999.
It was a cross body block that was insane. I mean, there was also a point where one of the FTR guys reversed the GTS, and then they pulled Punk into the Shatter Machine, which was a really, really cool visual. CM Punk taking a Shatter Machine, that's a sentence I never thought I'd say at any point in my life. Like, again, CM Punk facing off against the former Revival, like, that's fucking insane. But Dax is the legal man. Sting hits a Scorpion Death Drop. Darby Allin hits a Coffin Drop. Punk hits him with the GTS right after that, and the match went 25 minutes. It was a 25-minute house show match where, the crowd was having fun. Yeah.
But, that's the thing. They got to have fun on TV.
It was great. It was a 4-star match, Tomas.
Fun on TV.
It was 4 stars.
I've been seeing some house show footage of Roman Reigns, of all people, having the time of his life at house shows. Imagine if they had let him have a little more fun on TV.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic in every way. It was a great main event. I mean, this is a perfect, like, Christmas-style show main event where you have, like, all the heels, and then you have the baby faces getting all their moves in. It's honestly reminded me a lot of, like, obviously not as emotional as the Brody Lee tribute show trios match with the Dark Order and MJF, but, I mean, this match did harken back to that quite a bit, where the wrestlers were doing their thing, and then they were just having a good time. They were just...
Oh, yeah, and considering... we just surpassed Brody Lee's 1-year anniversary of him passing away.
Yeah.
I feel like the wrestlers easily needed this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. But great show from top to bottom. Dynamite. This is another 8.5 show from me. This is probably going to be remembered most for the Kyle O'Reilly debut in the opener. But, I mean, again, I feel like throughout, like, this is a more consistent, good wrestling show over Winter is Coming, I think. The main event was fantastic. I mean, you had a great tournament match between Ruby Soho and Nyla Rose. The opener was a lot of fun, and he had a great debut in there. I mean, not much to complain about with Dynamite, but oh boy, you ready to talk about Rampage?
Rampage, aka Dynamite Plus.
You're making it sound like a streaming service now.
Okay, there was 3 matches. I'm gonna shatter the fourth wall a little, ladies and gentlemen, and say I actually just watched highlights of both of these shows.
It's okay.
The holidays are a very, very, very busy time.
Yeah.
And I was in a position where I couldn't watch both shows all the way through live. So there's only one thing I know about the show, and that's where I'm going to get most of my opinions of. But what was this opener? It was Jungle Boy versus Isaiah Cassidy.
It sure was, yeah. Jungle Boy comes out with Luchasaurus and Christian Cage. You want to talk about someone who's lost in the shuffle right now, the Jurassic Shuffle.
I thought you were going to say Christian Cage. I'm like, you may disagree with me, but I don't think Christian Cage needs to be in the spotlight.
Well, I mean, okay, so here's the thing. I'm just waiting on the day that Christian is going to turn heel on Jungle Boy and put him over. Like, that's what he needs to do. Like, he shouldn't be teaming with them anymore.
A lot of people are saying that, the Lucha Express are going to be the ones to beat Lucha Bros for the tag team titles. I'm like, I don't think the tag team titles are necessarily what they need to be doing with them right now.
No.
And a lot of people are even saying like, the Luchasaurus is never going to win the world title, so the tag team titles. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Luchasaurus is amazing. He's amazing.
There's a lot of people who should be winning the world title on AEW television, but I mean, they're not. Like, if it were WWE, Luchasaurus would be the guy that Vince would be pushing to the moon, and not Jungle Jack. But Jack
it wouldn't be Luchasaurus in a fun gimmick being himself. It would be super serious dude in a tie.
It would be like Tyler Rex almost.
Yeah, it would be Von Wagner.
Oh God, no! Please don't give me that visual of Luchasaurus as Von Wagner. Like, Luchasaurus is much better than that.
Von Wagner.
Much better. This is why I don't like talking about NXT anymore. But
that's unfortunate.
I know. But this was, I mean, it's a solid like wrestling match between 2 tag team wrestlers. I mean, it's not really much that you're missing out of this. But Jungle Boy pretty much catches him in a snare trap and makes Isaiah tap out, and Jungle Boy basically improves his record from that point. 2 3/4. I mean, if I'm being nice, it's a 3-star match. I mean, it's solid wrestling, nothing wrong with it, but it's just not the same.
And also, this looks like the theme of this podcast. You want to talk about people that are lost in the shuffle? Private Party.
How about Matt Hardy? How about Matt Hardy also?
You're right.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I had a matter of fact to make up for the fact that he is non-existent on this show. So, I mean,
did you know that Matt Hardy wishes he was on TV?
Shoot, did you know that Matt often wonders how they do WrestleMania without him?
Well, they've done quite a few WrestleManias without him the past few years.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh my God, man. But you know, I mean, a part of the big reason why so many people are getting lost in the shuffle is because there's so many freaking debuts. And one of the most hyped debuts for some reason has been Taz's son Hook. And here he's taking on Bear Bronson. I went back and watched some of his match with Fuego del Sol. A lot of people were putting Hook over like he was this, like, you know, like Messiah that was about to come in and like redefine second generation wrestling. I think he's good. Yeah, I mean, he has like some cool suplexes here and there, and it was impressive to see that feat of strength that he has with Bear Bronson. But, big but, he has a long way to go. A long way to go.
Oh, absolutely.
He's up there.
Abso-freaking-lutely. I know I was, I know I was talking shit earlier, but after watching this match, you know, I'm gonna say some nice things about Hook. He looks good.
He does.
He looks very good. He's very well in shape. If there's one thing the Taz family knows how to do, it's grapple.
Sorry to cut you off, though. If you look at his face, like, you can just see his dad's intensity in there. You can just see it.
Do not get me wrong. I would not want to walk down the street and see Hook following me.
I would
instantly piss myself.
I would not want someone to send Hook after me.
No. If I heard send Hook, I would shit myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And the crowd fucking popped for Hook too. Like, did you hear the freaking reception he got? It was freaking ginormous. And I was like, how is this guy as over as he is right now? Like, I legit again, like I might be sitting here as an uneducated fan, and I might not exactly understand it, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, his shirt is selling #1 on AEW Shop right now, which is just crazy to me, just because it's such a generic shirt. But I mean, he's fine. He's fine. I mean, I feel like he has a lot of room to grow on me.
Oh yeah, and I feel like that's a positive criticism we can give him. It's not like he sucks and it's like, oh shit, we need work on this guy. No, it's like he can only go up. He can only get better.
It's not like he's fucking Von Wagner or anything like that. Like, he can actually put together a competent match right now. And it, like, you know, it looks like, I'll just say this right now. This showing against Bear Bronson was so much more impressive than the Fuego del Sol match. So much more impressive.
Oh,
just because Bear Bronson
Bear is such a big guy.
Gigantic.
Hook was suplexing him like it was nothing.
Hook was throwing him around like a sack of potatoes. It was crazy. Like, Hook was Brock Lesnaring him all over the place. It was nuts to look at. But the fans definitely they wanted Hook, and they got him. They got him. You know, I mean, he got an easy win here with his father's Taz mission, which I guess has become his finisher. But it's a 3-minute match. I mean, I can't really rate it as high as I'd like to, but I mean, Hook looks good.
This image in my head of Rey Mysterio and Taz sitting in a room saying, "No, my son's gonna kick your son's ass."
Shit. I mean, could you can only imagine. You can only imagine for right now, but I get the feeling that Rey Mysterio is retiring in WWE. That's just my gut feeling.
Oh yeah.
But
oh yeah.
I mean, and then after that you get kind of a random match between Chris Statlander and Layla Hirsch. It was, again, I mean, it's a random match between two faces, but it definitely feels like Layla Hirsch was playing more heel in this. This was, I mean, God bless Layla Hirsch. I don't think it was in any doubt that Chris Statlander was winning this. Like, she was hitting some impressive vertical suplexes. And then Statlander basically locks in a weird upside-down spider crab style submission hold. And one of the commentators was legit like, I don't know how anybody gets out of this one. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. It is legit so difficult to get out of there. Excuse my pun for a minute about Layla Hirsch there. Legit. But Layla Hirsch taps out. It's a 6-minute match. 2 stars, maybe 2.5. I mean, not really a whole lot to say about it, honestly. But
no, because we're not here to talk about that.
Oh, I know. It's time for the main event, and I know Tomas has a lot to say.
In the great words of Mark Henry, let's talk about some positive things first. I love how that's gotten over for Henry. I love how the fans
the crowd was chanting with it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, God, this is actually
doing that for a few weeks.
An over slogan. You know,
I love it.
Great.
Okay.
Now,
what do we have here?
Give Mark Henry his 3-6 Mafia theme back, please.
Please. Okay. What do we have here? It's the rematch to the very first match in AEW Dynamite history.
Yep.
For the TNT Championship, it's Sammy Guevara defending against Cody Rhodes.
I can just, like, I mean, I know you're not on camera right now, but I can just feel the disdain in your voice as you was describing this main event.
So, first things first.
Oh,
why
my
the
God.
fuck did Cody get this title shot?
Yeah, that was a big thing that Dan Lambert said in his promo. Like, how in the fuck did Cody Rhodes get this shot? Like, I legit I'm sitting here and I don't fucking understand it. Like, I mean, I get that, like, yeah, it's a big match if both of these guys are involved. Yes, it's a big match if it's a rematch of the first ever Dynamite televised match, but, I mean, you could have, like...
I would rather see Sammy Guevara versus the one Billy Gunn. I would rather see Chris Jericho versus Dan Lambert. I would rather see.
How about Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara in an Inner Circle blow-off?
I would rather see that.
I know nobody wants the Inner Circle to break up right now, but like, where was Chris Jericho on these shows? Was he touring with Fozzy?
I would rather see Chris Jericho versus Kane in a last man.
No. Not doing that. Not doing that. Yeah, dude. Fuck this match. I mean, here's I don't mean fuck this match in the fuck this match way, if that makes any sense. The wrestling was really fucking good. And I know you hate hearing me say that, Tomas, just because Cody Rhodes is involved, but I mean, this guy, number
Sammy
one,
Guevara was great. I fucking love Sammy Guevara.
You just don't want to give this guy a break, do you? Just
no.
Let's be okay. This guy already knows how to be a babyface. He's proven that, and he's really fucking good at being a babyface. But
we're tired of it.
I know. That's the thing. He's playing up to this crowd. He's really, really trying to force it down our throats. I am really starting to see why so many people were annoyed at John Cena winning all those matches back in 2005. As a young kid, that was a big John Cena fan. I didn't necessarily see it, but force-feeding Cody Rhodes as a babyface is like, and I know Cody has said he doesn't want to turn heel, but like, you kind of have to at this point. You kind of have to after all this.
If he thinks he's getting over with all these boos, he's delusional.
Yeah, and Tomas said exactly that before we started recording. It was honestly, Tomas, I hate to say it, this match was really good. This was the best match on Rampage for sure.
Oh, I'm sure the match was really good.
It was.
But we get near the end, and Cody Rhodes kicks out of a fucking GTH.
He does, because he's Cody Rhodes. Yeah, what's your point?
Cody Rhodes. Then Guevara goes for the 630, and he biffs it because Cody puts the knees up. Mm-hmm. And then here comes the big fucking finish.
Yep.
Where Cody Rhodes hits the crossroads, which Damian Priest does better.
Yeah.
And then he hits the Tiger Driver 97.
Yep.
And he pins Sammy Guevara 1, 2, 3. Now you give me one fucking good reason why Cody Rhodes should be winning the TNT title right now. Give me one good reason.
Because they don't have to put it on Jay Lethal yet. I guess. I don't know. I'm just making shit up now. But you're absolutely right. Cody should not have won this thing. I mean, Cody Rhodes was hitting so many goddamn crossroads on Sammy. He was hitting like 3 in a row. He hits the Tiger Driver 98. He pins him clean in the middle. And then freaking David Crockett goes into the ring to present the title to him. And I'm like, dude, you don't need all this brouhaha. You know?
Like, you know, it's like, you know, we're all talking about Spider-Man No Way Home right now. It's like that Tobey Maguire meme from the second Spider-Man, where he's sitting up on the building. From Spider-Man 3, where he's sitting up on the building and he says, "They love me." That's Cody Rhodes. That is Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
He thinks he's giving himself all this stuff, and he's got the fucking Nightmare family with him. He's got Dustin. He's got Big Shotty Lee.
He's got Arn.
Everybody there. He's acting like he just fucking won the lottery. Like he was just...
He's got Glock Anderson.
He's got the Glock with him.
I knew you'd like that.
I would rather the Glock.
I mean, there's so many people I would have rather had beat Sammy Guevara. I would have rather seen Jay Lethal win it. I mean,
I'd rather have seen Miro retain.
Yes. I mean, like, it probably would have made more sense if Cody had beaten Miro on this night, but that would have probably pissed even more people off. Because Miro is the fucking best. Like, you know, it's... I mean, I see why you're so annoyed. And I'm starting to get it now.
I mean, turning heel. He has to.
He has to be fucking with us at this point.
He has to.
You know,
Cody Rhodes is not dumb. He's not delusional.
No.
He can't be sitting here thinking that he's actually getting over. You heard the crowd. They booed him. And
it was in Greensboro also. It was in Greensboro where his dad was over in the mid-'80s. Over. You know? Like, it really, really does irk you, doesn't it? But wrestling-wise, this is a 3.5-star match. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry to rate it that high, but this was Cody's best match in a.
Fine.
This was Tomas. Honestly, this was Cody's best match in a long time. Like, you can't.
And I'm sure it was because of Sammy Guevara.
Oh my god. No, Sammy was fucking phenomenal in this, and the crowd fucking loved Sammy Guevara. They wanted him to win this match so badly, but no. No. If this, let's just say if this does not lead to Cody just being a transitional champion so Scorpio Sky or Ethan Page can win the TNT championship, in hindsight, I'll be okay with this. In hindsight, I'll be okay with it if they didn't pin Sammy.
I liked when Cody Rhodes was a transitional champion to give it to Brody Lee.
Yeah, for sure. And then he had to win it in that dog collar match too, didn't he?
He did.
I don't know. I mean, that's
Cody
obviously
Rhodes, the momentum killer.
That's obviously different circumstances because I don't want to assume that Brody was already feeling, you know, what would eventually lead to his untimely passing, but and that was where he needed to take time off after that to, like, you know, attempt to recover from that. But it's Sammy was on fire, dude. He was on fire, and Cody Rhodes fucking killed it. He fucking killed it.
Just like Brody Lee was.
Oh, don't depress me right now. Don't depress me. I don't need that any more than we need to. Talking about Cody Rhodes.
I love how I love the end of all of that. Kaz goes, well, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yep. Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. Like he wants to send Ricky Starks down in the ring. Send Hook. Send Hook to go take the TNT title.
Send Hook. Send Hook.
I've never wanted him to send Hook more in my life. Never. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, Rampage, the Cody win was kind of a downer on Christmas Day, but, I mean, what else are you going to do at this point? What else are you going to do? But yeah, I guess
we'll have to wait and see.
We'll just have to wait and see, and we've got a lot more AEW to talk about within these next few weeks with both nights of New Year's Smash. I don't know if we'll talk about Battle of the Belts. Let us know down in the comment section below if you want to hear about that. There's only one match confirmed for Battle of the Belts right now in Britt Baker versus Riho for the women's title. But other than that, I mean, yeah, go ahead and smash that subscribe button as hard as you possibly can and smash that thumbs up as well. This has been very, very fun to talk to Tomas again going into the new year. But yeah, Tomas, are you excited for day one?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see a lot of these matches. I'm excited for the main event. Reigns, Lesnar, the Fatal 4 match for the WWE title. There's some fun. Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title. It's going to be an interesting show. And
Liv better win. Liv better win.
And this is the first time we've gotten a pay-per-view on the very first night of the year. So it's going to be very interesting. Come on, WWE. Let's start off on a good foot.
Fingers crossed. I hope they don't just set up Roman and Brock for Mania, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But guys, lots more exciting stuff to look forward to, and look out for another audience poll. We're also going to be reviewing a retro Royal Rumble show in the build up to this year's Royal Rumble 2022. It's going to be some exciting stuff, my friends. So stay tuned for all that and much, much more, and commence that back talk. See you guys for the next one.